Am I the asshole? I forgot what I was gonna say. Am I the asshole story from Reddit? So let's start. I'm gonna have a face cam. We're gonna go on Reddit. My original plan was to just film me going on Reddit on my laptop. This is kind of concerning. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for agreeing with my daughter that it is weird that a friend's mom has access to their conversations? My daughter is 14 years old and has a friend, Chloe. She and Chloe have been friends for a little over a year now. Chloe's mom, Gina, is someone I'd consider pretty strict. I was aware she took Chloe's phone, and I knew a lot of parents do this, but I found out a few months ago that my daughter, through my daughter, that she'd respond through Chloe's phone to Chloe's friends, including my daughter. It was anything overkill, just Chloe can't talk right now, she's busy with homework or whatever. I thought this was odd, but didn't say anything to Gina about it because that's her life and her business. I got a call from Gina earlier this afternoon. She was very pissed off and told me that my daughter was rude. I need to start monitoring what she says, etc. I asked her what exactly happened. She said my daughter gave her an attitude via text. I was still very confused and asked what they were texting. Gina became exasperated and snapped through Chloe's phone. I told her I'd call her back and asked my daughter specifically what happened. My daughter willingly showed me her text. She texted Chloe something. Gina had responded using Chloe's phone, saying Chloe was busy. My daughter replied asking when Chloe would be available to talk. Gina told her when she's ready, stop texting her. My daughter replied, you don't have to be so rude. Gina said she wasn't being rude. My daughter said yes, Gina was, and also called her a weirdo for using Chloe's phone. I told my daughter next time just don't engage. I did also say it wasn't kind to call someone a weirdo and not to do it again, but that I also understand her frustration. I didn't punish her, she seemed receptive to talk, and I left it all at that. I called Gina back and told her I had spoken to my daughter and handled the problem. Gina started running that I need to monitor my daughter's phone and have I seen some of the things she talks about. She started on crushes, rants about teachers, saying they were times my daughter bad-mouthed me when frustrated. I said that's all fine, I'd rather her have a safe space event with her friends, after all she's a teenager. Gina kept pressing on the issue and what would be done. I told her nothing. I spoke with my daughter and handled it. Gina said, but she's insulted an adult. I told her I handled it, but my daughter also didn't say anything that wasn't true. Gina was acting like a weirdo. Now Gina is angry with me. My daughter doesn't care that I said all this. However, my husband thinks that I shouldn't have said it, as it didn't solve anything, and Gina can parent how she wants. I said I never commented on Gina's parenting until she tried to insult mine. Am I the asshole? No. Wait, let me go on Snapchat again. And we'll turn oh, come on. I don't think you are, because you didn't do anything wrong. Gina's the one that did something wrong. Like, you're telling me that she goes through Chloe's phone and reads her text messages. Like, I get it, most parents do that, but reading her text messages, I get looking for like apps that she shouldn't have, and you've said she's not allowed to have. I get that, like, if like you told your kid you can't have TikTok, then yeah. But the fact that she's looking through her messages and replying to her friends' messages, like, I think that's the weird part. She was being a weirdo. I agree. I fully agree with your daughter that she was being a weirdo. So yeah, I fully agree. I fully agree with that. I can't really. Let's find. I can't. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I couldn't pull this out. Okay, anyway. Oh, am I the asshole for refusing to keep being my sister's full-time caregiver after she unexpectedly moved in with me? My sister, 21 female, had a baby almost 2 months ago via C-section, and I, 26 female, have been helping a lot. I work with kids often, but I don't want any of my own. Since I experienced, my sister keeps saying I should be the one to help since I know what I'm doing. I understood she would need extra support while recovering, so I stepped in to help during the hospital stay and first few weeks. However, I was caught off guard when she unexpectedly moved in with me. I thought she would just come over for a visit, but she said she showed up with all the baby's things and made it clear she was staying. She did it because my brother-in-law works nights and needs to sleep during the day, so staying with me would make things easier. I completely understand that she's recovering and exhausted. I don't blame her for needing help, but I wasn't expecting to take on this much responsibility for weeks now. I've been the one handling most of the feeding, diaper changes, soothing, and general care. Meanwhile, my brother-in-law gets to sleep all night and all day, and my sister, while struggling, relies on me for almost everything. I'm barely getting any sleep myself, while I was trying to keep up with work and other commitments. The thing is, this was a planned pregnancy. I can't help but wonder if they really thought about what care would look like once the baby arrived, because from my perspective, it feels like I was always meant to be the fallback option without ever being asked. When my sister was pregnant, I warned her that a baby is a lot of work and that she was rushing into it with someone she barely knew. I also made it clear that just because I have a flexible schedule does not mean I'd be her built-in childcare. I have a job and other responsibilities that usually fill up my entire week. Now that I've started setting boundaries and stepping back from doing everything, my sister was upset and saying I'm a bad person for not wanting to help more. I feel bad, but I never agreed to this level of involvement. I'm the asshole for refusing to keep being my sister's full-time caregiver and setting boundaries. Right. So, no, you are not. You are not the asshole for that. That's all. You have your own life. You are not responsible for your sister's child. I get it, your sister needs the help, and I get where she's coming from. But, like, yeah, if you need the help, then shouldn't your husband, or, like, I don't know, maybe find someone that's willing to do it? Because she never said she would. I get, like, she shouldn't have to say she would. She should be able to help. But considering the fact that she was doing most things, I get it, your sister's recovering, but, like, no, you're not the asshole for that. Your sister was recovering, yeah, I get it, but, like, still, you planned to have a baby. You should be able to take care of it. You should have at least tried, because it's clear that she was barely trying to take care of it. So, yeah, I think, no, you're not the asshole for that. I just don't think you really were. Am I the asshole for refusing to drive 4 hours so my sister doesn't have to drive through NYC? NYC means New York City. For context, my parents, 60, male/female, recently got my sister, 19, female, new car, so she'll be able to drive to at college. However, since buying her car, my parents have not allowed her to drive from Long Island through NYC. One of them would drive a car a couple hours, the other driving another car. They would stop somewhere, then go home together, while my sister would drive the rest of the way to college. Through rural upstate New York, my parents said they were concerned about her driving past the city as she was inexperienced. At the time, I thought that this would be a 1 or 2 time thing, that they probably want to let her not only get used to the car but also driving through New York City. Flash forward today, my dad was diagnosed with vertigo. What is vertigo? And is unable to drive at this time. Oh, it must just be like a I don't know, a sickness. My mum asked me, 22 male, to do this drive with her instead. However, I objected. This will be the 4th time this has happened, and I would not be compensated in any way, gas money, etc. If this was the first time, I would understand. However, she had had her car for almost a year and drives frequently at school. I asked my mum if this is what my sister wants, or if this is what she... I asked my mum if this is what my sister wants, or if this is what she wants. Advising sister, has a nice new safe car and in my opinion is more than capable of doing this ride. I feel like it's also a little wasteful with regard to gas and time, my mother responded saying that she is uncomfortable driving through that area. Then Mum asked if I had driven on the parkways with my sister, because if I have, I would not want her driving through the city. My parents both tried to get my sister to practice driving on parkways so she would be better, so she's more comfortable when doing so. However, she refused to practice and my parents did not force her. This is another reason why I don't feel responsible to help my sister avoid driving past New York City. Furthermore, I personally feel if this is what my mum truly thinks, my sister should not have received a new car. Additionally, I feel that my parents' plan doesn't provide for my sister to grow as a driver, as there is no existing strategy she could eventually drive to school. Including through New York City on her own in the past, my mum has always emphasized with me that one day she will not be here and I will have to do things on my own, claiming, "What would you do if I was dead?" However, I feel this sentiment was lost to my sister because she is the youngest. Also, I want to stress that that it is my parents who want me to do this, not my sister. She wants to drive on her own, but doesn't want to fight my parents in the issue. However, my objection to this request has been met by my parents, saying this is only 4 hours of your life, and do it for us, not for your sister. I personally feel the request is frivolous, holds my sister back, contradicts the purpose of buying my sister a new car in the first place, given the fear of her driving ability, and warrants compensation to some degree for driving 4 hours. I'm gonna say it again. No, you're not the asshole. I haven't said you're the asshole once. Because, yeah, your parents bought your sister a new car. If they have the fear of her driving ability, they should have been driving her places. Or, like, I don't know. Like, I get it, like, it's only 4 hours. But what's the point? You're just wasting gas, you're wasting money. And you're also just, like, doing unnecessary. You're unnecessarily adding to climate change. So, like, I think, yeah, you're not the asshole. Your parents are the asshole in that situation. I'm sorry for calling your parents assholes. It's just the truth, innit? It's just the truth. Anyway, let's go back and find another story from Reddit. I'm gonna move. Am I the asshole for telling my sister her intolerance for imperfections and high expectations are why her relationships don't work? I'm gonna read it, but so far I think yes, you are the asshole. I, 28 female, have a younger sister, 25 female, who I adore and have a close relationship with. Our relationship was non-existent and competitive growing up due to an unfortunate dynamic in our house, where my parents were quite abusive towards me and exceeded meeting her every need. It took a lot of years of therapy on my part and uncomfortable conversations for us to get to this point. Due to her upbringing, she can be quite naive, in some ways is immature. She's so sweet, so beautiful, intelligent, highly motivated, and successful, and is all around a lovely woman. The issue is she has no tolerance for imperfections and high expectations because she is such a high achiever and can handle immense stress with ease. She has two degrees and a minor, and is working at a prolific business in her field. She's the type who will experience a bit of anxiety and immediately look for a therapist to make life changes to fix it. I'm really proud of her. She didn't broke up with her boyfriend due to his high levels of anxiety because she says it is stressed her out. She broke up with her previous boyfriend because he became really depressed and could no longer match her in her routine. I think she needs a partner who is also successful, motivated, works out a lot and loves to travel like her, and he was no longer able to do that. So over a glass of wine a few nights ago, she was talking about her stresses with the relationship and kept telling me she feels like she can't find a partner who meets her needs. I validated her feelings, but I also told her she's a unique person, not that many people can match her energy, that she has no patience for people to struggle if it affects her, and until she accepts that people are going to go through rough patches and be willing to work with them, she's going to be single. She's also said by that I'm not sure if it's because she's feeling down after the breakup or if it's just a painful truth to confront. She won't talk to me, but I've tried to reach out. Maybe I should just give her some time. I'm not advocating for low standards, just because more patient if someone is struggling. Just being more patient if someone is struggling, because everyone struggles at some point. I wouldn't advocate for her to stay in a situation where a partner is being abusive or is impacting her functioning due to their mental illness. From the context, no, you're not the asshole. Because at first I felt like, whoa, you're just saying that she's not going to be in a relationship just because she has a bit high standards. But turns out she does have really high standards. But the thing is, I think you're both assholes in that situation, because you did say that you were kind of harsh on her. I think you should have been saying, like, no, I don't think either of you are assholes in this situation. I think this is both reflecting on other things. Obviously, your sister's quite naive from your childhood, whereas you are quite shaped and taught as, like, you have been abused and you know exactly what's happening. But you are like less naive, and you're more, I want to say shaped, but like you're not shaped just because you've been abused. That sounds wrong. But you aren't naive. You are very much the opposite of naive. You know what's happening. You know what goes on in the world. Whereas your sister obviously doesn't really know. I think, first of all, a partner's mental illness, you should be helping them through. I get it, she has high standards, she's naive. I feel like you should have been teaching her. Like, she should have been telling you this during the relationship, and you should have been teaching her that, yeah, they are going to go through a rough patch. You just need to be patient with them and help them through it, and then they'll be able to meet your routine again, and then you'll be happy with the relationship. And you need to think for them too, not just for yourself and for the routine that you do. But yeah, I think it's kind of a both situation. No, it's kind of a neither situation there. You both didn't really, like, you both kind of were struggling with that, because obviously the partners had mental illness. Of course they were gonna like not be able to match her routine because they can't match the energy. Not many people can match her energy because of her, like, I want to say unrealistically high standards. But I'm gonna end this here because I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and I feel like I'm gonna get bleeped out from the asshole part. But yeah, bye guys.